What is going on YouTube? Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. First things first, I just want to let you guys know, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click the thumbs up button. Make sure you leave us a comment. And also make sure you click the notification bell so you are notified every time that I post a new video on this here channel. So back again, I have my co-hosts, Mike, Jennifer, and Tyrone. What's going on, y'all?
Hey,
What up? What up?
We are
well,
all back together again as one. So yeah, Jennifer, we'll start us off with our first topic.
Right away, sir. I absolutely will. Right now.
insider.
It is a somber week. We have found out that Nina Leakes has lost her husband to his I can't say loss, but he has passed away from his battle with colon cancer. Greg Leakes passed away, I believe it was yesterday
Yesterday, yes.
on the 1st of September.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yes, and unfortunately, well, no, I can't say unfortunately. Fortunately, Nini had the opportunity to at least know that the time was coming. I really do think
Right.
that's awesome. So you can prepare yourself and prepare the people around you, as you could see
Correct.
in that video she's had out there, saying that he is in
Transitioning.
the transitioning to transition. So
Right.
God bless her family. And I hope that they find peace in knowing that Greg does not have to fight anymore.
Yes.
Amen.
That
Yeah,
really
when
hurt my.
go ahead,
Go
Mike.
ahead. I was just gonna say that really hurt my feelings. I've been to know me is to know that I am a housewife of Atlanta fanatic since 2008 when the first episode showed on Bravo.
Mm,
And you know, you get to the point where you actually like know their family and know. I'm really like it really hurt my feelings. It's like an uncle that passed away to me. So, rest in peace, Greg Leaks, and like you said, know that I hope you find peace that he's not suffering anymore. It's
yes.
not going to be easy, but you will come to terms with it. So, but I feel bad for Nene. That's a lot.
Right. Yeah. When I saw that video, I don't know exactly when it was posted. I feel like it was over the weekend, but
It
it
was
might have been Monday or Tuesday.
Saturday.
Mm,
Saturday. Okay. And so when I heard her say what she said, initially I didn't think that she was serious for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I just didn't think that she was serious because it just seemed so random that she would say that in the middle of a club. But then when he died, I realized that okay, so she's gotten to the point to where she's accepted the fact that this is happening. It is
Hmm.
happening. It is in the midst. And she's going to deal with it and govern herself accordingly. So yes, all prayers out to the entire League's family
Yes.
for their terrible loss. Cancer is cancer is something else. So
Yes.
yeah,
F
mm.
cancer.
F it royally. You have anything to say?
Um, for me, being a person that didn't really follow the show that week from week, the episodes I did catch, I did gravitate to the gentleman
Greg
Greg?
Leaks.
of the show. I would say
Oh, to
all
the
the
gentleman
gentlemen.
of the show.
Yeah, the
Okay,
gentlemen of
understood.
the show.
okay,
Oh, okay,
Um,
Because they
because
were
they were there.
they certainly were.
right,
You know, they just weren't in the ladies' business all that much. But to see,
Some.
um,
right.
like I said, not much, but okay.
Yes.
There
I
were
can
some
cite.
that were involved. Greg was one of the ones that kind of stood out to me.
Because it seemed like
Um,
he had just the most level head
yeah, he
of
was
the
very level
bunch.
headed, and his wisdom that he
Yes.
imparted on everyone on the show, I really liked how he was like, "Hey, wait a minute, just take a step back now. Wait, just take a beat now. Hold on now."
I
Real
remember those
man coming
times.
in and just like,
Regulating.
"Hey,
Yes. Me and
change the
my
whole energy."
yes. Me and
Right.
my friend always laugh at a part. This is when him and Nene was going at it. and he said it has to be some immaculate fibers. That's why you're upset with me. I'm like, we're just well spoken.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, right. He was a man. Okay.
Okay.
Well, rest in peace,
Right.
Leaks. I mean, his
Rest
brother
in
Greg,
peace.
and yes,
And
God bless the dead, man.
man, I had to do that first so that we can move forward into
to
the
be
foolishness.
petty.
I could not sandwich the foolishness that we have to talk about today, and with
Right.
memory of Gregory Lee.
Yeah.
So moving forward,
Okay.
we got we got the baby. The baby was that not the first conversation we had, or just one of the biggest conversations we had
It was
on
one of the
I'm
biggest.
this
I
thinking it
think
was
that
the
was
first
the big.
conversation we had.
I don't know if it was the. I don't know if it was the first, but it was a big one. I know
It was a
that.
big one. It was very big.
No,
And
maybe I think it was the second one. I
The
think it was
second
the
one.
had a whole
second one.
video
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
towards this particular subject with the baby. If you did not know,
back.
the backlash from the Rolling Loud concert that he has spoken his mind on with HIV about HIV and having not having relations, sucking peen in
In
the
the
parking
parking
lot.
lot.
And if your hoo ha smells like water, it, these are the things. Usually people say if you got a $20 bill, put your hands up.
Right.
That's what
Mm-hmm.
they
If you got
use.
$100 in your wallet, put your hands up.
Okay, if
If
you're
you're single,
single,
put your
make
hands
some
up.
noise.
If your cell
Right.
phone bill paid,
Come
if your
on.
rent is
If
paid,
it's your
car
zodiac sign season,
Okay.
go ahead and make some
If
noise. You know
you
what I'm saying? Like,
Aries, put your hand up.
I love it. I
You
love
yeah.
it.
know, when did we
Mm-mm.
totally dismiss ourselves from that line of
Mm-mm.
questioning?
I it's like, oh, it's go ahead.
Gosh, it
It's
would
just
have been
bad.
better like if
It's
you
just
gay,
bad.
put your hands up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
hey,
would
they
even took that like
represent.
you
yeah.
gave they put you straight put your hands up. Like
Put your hands up.
you're bringing everybody into it, but we don't even
Whatever.
want to get to that point where we
Have
rehashing
another
old
long
wounds.
conversation about this. Sorry, we
Yes.
forgot to turn on the light in here. Anywho, so it says via the shade room that the baby met with 9 HIV awareness organizations to apologize for his insensitive, rolling loud comments. I'll just go ahead and go first. Um, he never would have visited these 9 AIDS awareness organizations before he said his ignorant comments. I To be honest, you would think if you are wrong and you the day after, the same night and the day after and the rest of the week after that, you stand in what you say. You don't feel too much need to apologize until your publicist whips out his or her pen and start jotting out some apologies and stuff. And now, how many weeks later? Almost 2 weeks later, we are in a place where we're getting more apologies that I don't believe anybody even asked for. I wish here's what I wish. Like RJ. Excuse me, Ray J.
Yeah.
I wish is that he would have asked for more information. I wish that was
Oh,
the
excuse me.
title of this story, that he asked for more information, for more understanding, so that he won't make himself look stupid in the future. And then it should have been televised video all up over the YouTubes, all up on his social media, so that we can know that he's actually trying to understand why so many people said no, we're not going to have you here.
Right.
So go ahead, Jonathan.
Um, dealing with this type of situation, I've realized something about myself. When it comes to those who speak negatively against the LGBTQ plus community, to me, I just write them off. That's just another one that I don't have to worry about. I don't have to think about whatever. They're ignorant. That's what it is. Like I literally, like I just want nothing to do with those people. And I feel like, I should probably work on that. Give people a chance. I see this as a moment of growth for myself, and hopefully it's a moment of growth for the baby as well. Um, my prayer is that he longs for understanding. My prayer is that he wants to understand and he wants to get more information about the LGBTQ plus community and those who are suffering or living with HIV and AIDS. That is my prayer. That is my hope. Um, I think all of us can do a better job at giving people chances. Maybe that's something that we can try to take out of this situation as well. Giving people chances, but only if I'd say if they are seem willing. But I'm indecisive about this. I don't know how I feel about it.
Mike, are you decisive about this?
Oh no, I have an opinion.
Okay, go ahead and give
You
that.
know, your prayer. You said you have a prayer that you want him to long for understanding. The Bible says faith without work is void, and I don't feel like he wants to know, needs to know, or I feel like he was wrong still. I also feel like he was denying people to apologize, and I feel like he meant zero of those apologies. Um, I don't feel like he thinks he did nothing wrong still. I don't know personally, but my honest opinion, I don't think he feels like he did anything wrong. I think that yes, my pockets got hurt by it. So let me apologize.
Hmm.
That's what I feel. And I don't care. Like you said, you write them off. I don't write them off per se, because I know people are going to be ignorant or make stupid comments because they're not knowledgeable.
Hmm.
But I really do feel you can tell when someone is apologetic towards the ignorance that they said before. And I don't feel like he was, because, and it wouldn't have been so bad if he didn't come out the next day after he made those stupid comments and try to explain himself, which really wasn't, which really put him back in, like him a bigger hole, basically. And I just feel
Right.
like those, the explanation was worse than the comments to me. So until you publicly apologize and be sincere about it and come from the heart with it, like you did those comments you did that was ignorant, then yes, then I can move forward with saying, okay, well, I'm gonna just go this time, but watch what you say.
Uh,
But I still don't feel like he did anything. Like
Tyrone?
In other words, he hasn't learned his lesson,
he has not
probably.
learned his lesson. You can teach a
Yeah.
dog new tricks. That don't.
Yeah. No. I don't. It from the outside looking in, that's the way it looks and appears, and rightly so because the action behind it tells you that he's not learning from this situation. And part of me feels like even if he did learn from this situation and was to move in the direction that everybody wants him, there will still remain people out there that are going to be like, nah, I don't believe him. He said it
And
once, he'll say it again.
He literally said it again after
as
he said it on the stage.
yes, thank you,
Right.
Rolling Loud, for not just like
Yeah. So I mean, I hate that the hip hop culture is so homophobic
When there's so many
when
homosexuals
and
in
there's
it.
so many in there,
it's not even that. We want to keep your
or
career sustained.
Okay, come
or
on.
or they do activities from the homosexual
Hmm.
community, but still want to remain heterosexual.
Okie dokie. Anywho, anybody watching this, please let us know if you believe that the baby is sincere in his apologies that he's given.
You know what?
Um,
We're trying to make somebody named the baby even understand something that's serious.
Anywho, moving
Well,
forward, we got to go. We got to
let's
got
go.
to keep it
let's go
moving.
to the next LGBTQ person.
Lil Nas X.
How you doing?
He had a spread in People that showed him these were very exclusive photos.
Exclusive
He
come out today.
Exclusive
it
player.
was basically a whole maternity shoot. He had a prosthetic. He had a prosthetic.
Prosthetic.
Thank you.
Prosthetic.
He had a prosthetic belly, and it looked really good as
Really
far as,
good.
the colors
Yeah.
matching. It looked like it could have been him for real.
Mhm.
He had a
Right.
whole
I was convinced. I said, "Look at this!
this nigga
Somebody
could be,
come look at this."
he might be a little pregnant.
Tell
But
Jonathan, when we do something, we do it correct.
Right. Okay.
You better,
You better let him know.
you
Right.
better do it right.
but it's like okay, some people are starting to feel like, oh, now Lil Nas X he's pushed it just way too far. These kids, he's just confusing all of them. And all I can think about is like, you're the ones that let your kids be all over the internet without any kind of supervision. Or you also refuse to explain to your child what your child is looking at. You don't want to have the
Right.
conversation with them, letting them know that this is what is being done. He's not really pregnant. He just did a photo shoot with a fake belly, like it's a costume.
Right.
If you can't find the words to explain to a child what's being done there, then I really question your parenting. Yes, I am not a parent yet, for sure. But I know that as an adult, I can speak to any child and explain to them the things that they're looking at. So I don't know where the issue is. People are saying stuff like, oh, he's gone too far, or
Doing
a
too
lot of
much.
people that respect the game, he said, man, he's just an expert on trolling the people.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's just being an artist
Doing what he want to do.
and just
Right.
express himself
Yes,
artistically.
I love how you put
And
that.
to,
Yes, he's an
and to be
artist.
honest, I really like the picture where he had all the white
Oh
roses.
yeah,
Oh, that's so
it
cute.
reminds me of Beyonce's picture. To be honest,
Yeah.
And to me, the way that I
It's
received
like,
it was that, I don't know if you guys know this, but Lil Nas X's debut album Montero is going to be coming out on the 17th of
23rd,
September.
his first
17th.
So
Okay,
album.
yes, his debut
He-
album. So to me, it seems like he's using that as a metaphor. The pregnancy is his work
Mhm.
of art, is his work that he's put in, and on the release date, he's going to give birth to his album. So
that's
to
what I
me,
got from it.
Artistry.
right. So to me, it makes sense. But like Jennifer said, the perfect thing. Parents do not want to have this conversation. I don't know if they know the words to use during this conversation, or if they're just a little bit concerned about where this conversation may go, because we know kids ask a lot of questions. So it's a matter of parents not ready to have conversations about real life with their children.
and
But
also just the simple fact that this is real life. We're in real life. Just be about it and talk. I mean, I guess if it's hard, ask a friend of how you going to talk to them about it. But you got to do something.
Right.
to be honest, I mean, as a child, when I went into the store and saw magazines, I didn't really question too much. And if I did question something, my mom was like, "Well, put that back there and be quiet. Like,
Mhm.
just move on. Like, just move on. You don't have to." My thing is, it's work of art, and your child probably won't understand until later on anyway. Just move. It's not that big a deal.
I
Nobody had
think
an
it's,
issue with the
It's sad.
girl who turned into the girl who changed over or turned to a transgender male but ended up pregnant. Like, she was still had her female parts, but I mean, it just like just let go, move on. Like, it's not for
but
everybody.
I think the issue is that they're afraid that them being exposed to that's going to make them gay. That's just all
That's
Yeah,
that I
that's
feel
I,
the
that it is.
phobia.
That's true
I
too.
think if people really like, it's not contagious, you guys. Okay,
It's not like
it's not
coronavirus.
going to be because you're around me. You're not going to turn gay yourself. Okay, and if that was the case, it'll be a world full of gay people and crazy
Okay.
people, and it won't. That's not how it works. You have to have an interest. It has to be something that turns you on. If it don't turn you on, then you're not going to do it, child.
Come
I
on.
can tell you to do it all day long, and you're not going to do it if you don't want to do it.
Yeah,
You know,
I like
and
it.
my thing is, you can't turn somebody gay straight. You can't turn somebody straight gay. I mean, that's not how it works. So
Well, I
I,
mean, they
so,
can get delivered.
Oh. And
Let's
even
that's another
not.
topic. You know, mess my
you
phone.
don't make you don't make him mess up his own phone. mess up the situation.
Lord,
Let me tell you
please let us.
something. There are people that go into sexual acts with the same gender and come out of there saying, hey, I don't want that for the rest of
That's
my
not for
life.
me.
It's not for me. It's like
That's not for
it's really
me.
just that simple. And speaking of moments and situations that we go through that may seem sus, I guess. It was revealed that Trick Daddy is a part of the booty eating gang. That's what he referred to it as.
How you doing?
And okay, he says he enjoys having his booty ate. I think that's the easiest way to say that. He enjoys that.
Yeah,
Um the internet has certainly gone crazy about it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to check and see why Trick Daddy is trending, it is certainly a bit much. My God,
It
why?
was a surprise to me.
And
I
look at
really,
you know what?
You,
I
you,
think
you want me to do it?
we have him speaking on how he feels about that.
Uh-huh.
Um you should have that.
I
Yeah,
have
that's
it.
it. And I need you to scroll over a whole bunch, just like the last
Oh,
thing where he
yes.
explains.
Turn it up.
I turned it up.
Booty gang. You
Yeah.
saying women is eating the booty?
Yeah, women eating the
come
booty,
on.
G.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't know whether to make noise for that or not.
Yeah, I get 8 out.
Wait, what? What shit, man?
I get 8 out. Listen, man. Check this out.
All right, Trick, you don't have your legs in the air, though.
It depends. We don't need to think about it.
You say women is supposed to eat booty gang. You
Yeah.
saying women is eating the booty?
Yeah, women eating the
come on,
booty, G.
Trick. Wait, what?
I'm frowning my face up not because it's not. Can you hear me?
We can
yeah,
Oh, I'm frowning my face up not because of women eating booty or him getting his booty ate.
It's him
I
that's
just, I just feel like this may come off wrong. Heterosexual men do not know what it takes to clean that area perfectly. So I was just scared of what may come with that getting done. Like, it takes a little bit more than just a washcloth to me.
well, one thing I can mention, there's been a video floating around as well, with Trick Daddy talking about how he you have to use wet wipes after
yeah.
you poop.
Well, that's true too, but I use wet wipes too, but it still takes more than that to clean that area.
Agreed. Agreed.
Have to use a little a little.
These are actually things that I sell on my adult toy store. You can
Yes.
actually
Like dishes.
get it at melanatedtoys.com. Get yourself. I have a variety of dish, so you can certainly, get yours there. Because I do agree. I can't imagine. I can't imagine doing that. Period. It's not for me. You know what I'm saying? But I have. Let me shut up. I have considered. I'd have to do the cleaning myself
What?
because
Okay.
I need
No,
to be
Jennifer,
aware.
no. Jennifer, no. Jen, if you're going to do it, no, I don't. I think it's a lot more women that do it than we might know about it.
Oh yeah,
Because you never
That is
know what.
fact.
That's why I never judge what people do and be straight people.
Right.
Don't judge what people do behind closed doors because your best friend might be the one doing the nastiest, guttiest thing, and you don't
That's
even know
it.
it. Yes. So don't judge somebody now. You talk about me. Make sure you treat your homeboys too. But anyway, I feel compelled to say that. I don't know why, but
go ahead. Let it ride.
you never know what people do behind closed doors because sometimes the freakiest, nastiest stuff comes behind. Well, I won't put to my door, but behind closed doors.
Oh.
So, okay, but my thing is, Jen, I would never. Okay, yes, the booty gets done, but it would not be a turn on for them to be cleaning my butt, though, Jen. That is nasty. You can't clean their butt before you can't. That's no, Jen. That takes the excitement out of it.
I
Maybe
would.
Walmart.
I
I
would.
would disagree with that. Maybe you can make it kind of fun. Hey, you know
Why
why you're doing it,
both in?
Them siblings.
right? So here's my take on it. I was actually proud of Trick Daddy for sharing with us what he likes
Yes.
to do in the bedroom because when when the average heterosexual man hears this, he's gonna say, "Oh, that nigga's gay," and that's what a lot of people will rush
Yes.
to judgment. But what people fail to realize is that whether you're heterosexual or homosexual, what you do in the bed still feels the same.
Correct.
There might be a different person doing it to you, but
Ooh.
at the same time, it's still going to feel the same. So um, I would have to say that I feel the opposite of Jennifer concerning this situation, which is another reason why I was proud of Trick Daddy for sharing his thoughts with us. But not that I would be interested in doing it with Trick Daddy. But anyways,
I would not be interested in doing it with Trick Daddy.
I am. I feel like Trick Daddy is very brave for what he said. And then Tank came out and sang a little diddle, a little something something to it, maybe giving his support to Trick Daddy. I don't
Was
know
it?
if he enjoys it himself as
Was it?
well, but I celebrate Trick Daddy and his freedom.
But didn't Tank come out like a year or two ago saying that he just is done though? He said that before.
He did.
Oh yeah,
Now Tank,
Okay, yeah.
he's been
like,
free for a long time,
It's been known that Tank does what he does,
and he
you
do
know,
him, and he do it well.
and that's all right. But
ooh, child.
when it came to the deepest and the hardest of the fellas hearing that
Oh, your groove. What did y'all talk about that?
um
A bunch of
hearing
straight
like
men.
a whole bunch of straight
Oh,
men
I'm interested in this
hearing this
conversation.
discussion of because this panel that he was on, that's a whole group of
A
straight
man.
Right.
men, right?
Yeah.
You did what?
But I
And
guarantee you, somebody in your group circle probably have tried it, but only admit it.
look. That's why Trick shared it with him because he figured that somebody else in there
Somebody.
had
Yep.
experimented with it and he was left out there on his lonesome.
And when you left out on your lonesome, a lot of times you just got to stand
And
10 tones
You got,
down in
you
it.
got to stay
And
in
you was
it.
like,
Right.
yeah.
he was in that thing
Mhm.
and it was sinking fast and he was like, y'all know how it is out here, man. People be doing people. He
But
was
but
like,
people ain't talking about but
people
people doing
ain't talking
people.
about people doing people.
Yeah.
That's the
But man,
big
I can kind of understand because in my group, my friend circle, I probably was the only one who has not done that. Doing that too, get it done, yes, but do is something totally different. That was being, I'm one in the game now, but it's I can see where it demasculate. Is that the word? Demasculate.
Yeah.
Demasculate. Yeah.
Yes, a
Demasculate,
man,
yeah.
because for me, I love masculinity, and for me to see a grown man either with his legs up in the
But see, when he said depends, I said, wait, what?
Yes, he said depends.
I said,
yes,
Nick,
but then I
you
also don't want
supposed to
you
have
to
been
bend
the
over in my
hardest
face
of the
either.
hardest dude out here in the streets.
Let me tell you
You talking
something.
about shooting up, killing people, and then you come around and say,
I
it
only
depends if I.
I only make a face because it's Trick Daddy. If it would have been a lot of other people, a whole lot of other
Like,
people,
Now,
my
if it
face
was
would have been
Tank,
straight. I just make a face
whew,
because it's just Trick Daddy.
But
But
you know,
Jonathan, I do agree with you. I do think it was good for him to say what he said because
mhm.
I think it's a time right now to normalize
Yes.
conversation about sex and sexuality because it's
Absolutely.
the African American
well,
community. And
so
since the
it's
African
time.
American community kind of mirrors the church, so the church doesn't talk about sex. So then, therefore, ipso facto, the black community is not talking about sex like that.
So we lifted the veil
My thing is, I love talking about it.
on the
I know.
bedroom.
I
Right. I was going to say, Jennifer, that's a great thing that you said. In these times that we're living in, that's the best thing for someone to do. Someone who is a straight up heterosexual man to just be free and open with the fact that he likes to get his booty ate. Like that is great to hear. For
Look,
me, it is at least.
10 years ago,
Now,
he would have been shot dead in the street,
But his legs still would have been in the
closed
air
casket,
though.
but
Okay.
in the air.
Depends.
you, but
Depends.
it also makes a difference on who says it too. Like, okay, it's Trick Daddy who said it, so he won't get nobody getting his inbox. Okay.
Nah,
Now,
nah. 'Cause look, I'm glad you mentioned that. When Tank said it, all these women went over the Tank,
but that's Tank though. Also, I mean,
and it
my
was just
thing is,
like it enhanced his
but I don't
reputation.
think women even do that. I think it's because it was Tank. You just have to be in the bedroom with Tank. So
Okay.
I'm gonna put on my big girl panties, or they about to take them off. But I'm gonna eat the Tank behind
Okay.
Tank. Okay.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
Daddy.
You ain't gotta ask me twice.
Right.
And Tank is the one. He actually said on the Breakfast Club forever ago that if a man perform fellatio on another man, that does not automatically make him gay.
He
I was
said,
like,
if you try it and you say you don't like it, that'll make you gay.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
if you're
Right.
a
But
offender,
I'd say Tank, if you gotta choose the right man, 104.
hey,
Oh Lord.
Hey.
here we go. Hey,
Hey now.
But
Watch
you
out now.
know,
But
it's go ahead, Jonathan.
I was going to say, but yeah, I was actually going to bring that statement up that he said a couple of years ago, Jennifer. The fact that he said that, these men are open minded enough to share with the public their views on these sexual topics, and I agree with Tank. Just because a man tries something out just to see if he likes it, just to test the waters, that does not set in stone the fact that he is gay. If he doesn't like it, then he doesn't like it. If he finds out that he does like it, that still doesn't mean that he's gay. It might mean that he is same sex attracted, but he might be bisexual. So we have to take these things in stride. But shout out to those brave men, those brave heterosexual men, or men who fall somewhere in the middle of the spectrum, who are open enough to share their sexual whatever.
and women do it all the time.
And that's exactly what I
Yeah.
was about to say, that double standard. A woman, she can enjoy a night of bliss, you know, and her and her not be ridiculed or called a lesbian automatically just because she enjoyed it. Because think about it. What's it? Candy. We know that she like a little poo on every now and again.
Right.
You've
I've
never
heard
heard
that word
anybody.
in so long.
You're a lesbian. You haven't seen that come from
No
anybody
bashing.
because that's the world. But what were you gonna say, Tyrone? I'm sorry.
what is interesting, the conversation among the guys that do have this discussion
Mm-hmm.
that haven't
Mm-hmm.
is so interesting because they're always speculating what it would be like in that experience, how they will be positioned in everything, and how long would they be able to stand it. It
You
is
know,
a very interesting conversation to hear them go through this whole list of
Well,
what will
Oh
happen
my
in the
goodness.
moment.
well, while you were speaking, I was envisioning things in my head
mhm.
of how that could probably be done. I don't know if I can even talk about it right now, but if the woman is giving an oral transaction, I'm just trying to keep it very PG.
Mm-hmm,
The woman's giving an oral transaction, then she makes her way down to your sack,
mm-hmm.
and then she goes down to a little bit lower.
Mhm.
It's like
I mean,
it's
you
so
ain't got
quick.
far to go.
The bridge.
Well, the bridge, I'm like, well, a little bit lower than that, but but if she goes down right there, and you already kind of like in the mood and turn on, like you're not gonna stop her. You might
Of course not.
push up a little bit, but you're like, oh, okay.
When you find things feel good.
But
Don't tell nobody I did.
Right.
it's also crazy to hear that they're being anti that activity and be like, I'm afraid I might like it.
They only anti it out loud because they're afraid that people will judge them. But I believe they probably do it behind closed doors. But trust me,
Right.
they only, like I said, they only anti out loud in public settings. But behind closed doors, some freaks too.
Look, the freaks,
Freaks in a good way, not freaks in the nasty, but freak in a good way.
the freaks come out at night,
Oh
and
no, freaks come out
everything
24/7.
Speaking of the freaks that
in
are out at
the
night,
dark.
you let my transitions, Jonathan? That's your name.
Yes, I love them.
Freaks that are out at night. There was one freak. Her name is Anti-Vax Mama. She's actually a stripper, and she was charged with running a fake vaccine card scheme on Instagram. So,
Mm, mm,
We
mm,
just spoke about this last week.
yes,
mm,
she's
mm.
31 years old. Basically, oh my gosh, she charged $200 for a card. $200.
What?
How did she get
Wow.
caught?
And then, oh gosh, some even costing $250.
Jeez.
How did she get caught?
That's the question. Hold, please. Because they're talking about how she's been hit with a slew of charges.
It was red herring.
Well, okay, I'll just quickly try to go through this. Okay, so the 31-year-old was charged with 200 excuse me, she charged $200 a card to make them seem believable. She enlisted the help of an employee of a New York clinic to enter buyers' names into the New York State. Oh Lord,
Whoa!
into the New York State Immunization Information
Hold
System database.
on. They got into the database?
So the
Wow.
26-year-old allegedly she entered at least 10 people into the system, charging $250 for this extra
She got a
measure.
couple stacks right
The
there.
state
Wow.
the state system keeps track of who's gotten the COVID vaccine, and the information is then provided to Excelsior Pass, a New York-based application that gives immunization proof to various companies and venues. Even more troubling is that the several of the buyers were New York hospital and nursing home employees.
Yo.
Former
Wow.
Governor Andrew M. Cuomo formally announced that all the New York healthcare workers would have to be vaccinated. So this woman, she was hit with a slew of charges, including criminal possession of a forged instrument, offering a false instrument for filing, the cards, and for conspiracy. She faces charges for offering those things, blah, blah, blah. The buyer of a fraudulent card has been charged with criminal possession of forged instruments. So they didn't say how they got her, but she been got.
Well,
And
you get her in the person working in the office in the 10 people to get the cards to.
Situation like I think it was.
I don't think it was. That sounded like a legit situation that they were doing. Well, not legit, but looking really real. But there is another one. Before we go to talk about it, it's an Illinois woman. Okay, she was arrested for using a fake vaccination card at a Hawaii airport. So I guess she was on her way home. Okay, she claimed she received the Moderna vaccine, and Moderna is actually spelled Moderna. Whoever did this card for her, maybe she wrote it herself. Who knows? But she spelled it Maderna.
Man.
Oh, wow.
So that's how she got caught because
That's
the
how
spelling was wrong.
Yeah, she was arrested on Saturday for traveling to Hawaii with the forged COVID-19 vaccination card, which contained that blatant error. According to court documents, this 24-year-old allegedly submitted an online card to Hawaiian officials that misspelled Moderna as in, the wrong way. So On August 23rd, she arrived back from Oahu, and the state detectives were alerted to the suspicious document. According to court documents, investigators were originally unable to locate the woman because the hotel reservation she left with screeners turned out to be wrong. So she knew she was doing wrong, and she
Oh
out here
wow.
dodging, right? So,
Whoa.
however, she was apprehended when she returned from the airport to fly out last weekend. So, yeah, she was vaccinated in Delaware according to the fake vaccine card, and the officials discovered that there was no such record in the state. She is currently
Mm,
being held on
mm,
$2,000 bond for falsifying vaccination documents.
You know, I applaud whoever was even looking into that because I feel like when I went to Cancun and they checked my card, they just look at it real quick and you go on about your way. But I guess they really do look at it and make sure everything. And well, she put it into a system, so I didn't have to do that. So I guess that'd be the difference.
Wait,
Right.
you did register to get it, right? When you got it?
Yeah, no, I was the legit way. Okay,
But-
mine is real. I got the shot in my arm. No, mine is real.
okay, I
I'm
had to
just
pee in
saying,
your
I
mouth.
not. Yeah, I didn't have to put it in the system. I'm saying I didn't have to put it in the system to travel. But just look at
Okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah, no, I got mine. I got my shot because I didn't want to get sick again. Okay.
Okay, nobody got time for it. What did you think about that, Jonathan?
To me, it's crazy the lengths that people will go to avoid getting a shot where the needle isn't even that big. Like I
You don't
barely
feel it.
even felt it
I didn't feel
either
it.
time that I got my vaccination shot. It's so crazy to me. And again, this all goes back to that one person who started all of this. And
You know
and
who at the
and
White House.
and the fact that I mentioned on the last video, he did a rally in Alabama and said, go ahead and get your vaccination shot, but the damage is already done. And I don't know if we'll be able to get to a point where these people who are afraid, or who are, suspicious of the vaccine, I don't really think that we're going to get to a point where their minds are going to be renewed concerning COVID-19. I just don't see that happening. I don't, I, and it seems like I have no hope for them, but it's like to be like logically thinking, like I don't see them changing their minds concerning this unless there are like a whole bunch of Senate and House representatives and leaders and governors and people who are out here on the front lines telling their constituents to get out here and get vaccinated. It's not going to change.
Yeah, I do know the some places like the hospital are cracking down on a lot of things. Like my aunt, I shouldn't say my aunt, but anyway, she wants to show. She don't know what YouTube is. She didn't want to take she took one shot first, and she said she was not going to take the second one because she just did not want to take the second one at all. I was like, so you're not vaccinated? Then you
That
take the
doesn't make
one
any
shot?
sense.
Doesn't make any sense. She's like, well, I'm vaccinated. I said, no, you're not. Like, you need both shots to be fully vaccinated and covered. But okay, she was having some pain in her back, and she had to get like an epidural in her back. The hospital told her that she cannot do it until she gets the second shot.
Mm.
Wow.
the way
So
it's
they are
going
cracking
down now.
down. So I think some you're gonna have to be forced now to if you want medical help. Sometimes you may
Hmm.
have to be forced to even get before get the shot, which I think is fine. I mean, unless you have any issue that's gonna cause you harm by getting the shot, you get the shot.
Yeah, my concern with it is that people have turned it into a political thing. People have turned it into a government trying to do whatever to you thing. And I mean, people talk about, well, you don't know what's in it. Well, you don't know what's in the ibuprofen and all the Robitussin that you're about to take because you're going to
Yes.
try to
Right.
eradicate that stuff with it. It's not it. And also, yes, there are people that have died from it, but when you get the vaccine, you not only have to, you not only have the vaccine, but you also have to do right by your body by
Correct.
trying to eat right, at least trying to, get your ginger tea in, get your
Get your
vitamins in.
vitamins. Yes.
And you got to try to do all those things because there are people, yes, you still can get the COVID
Yes.
19 with the vaccine, but you won't have to go through as much
Yes.
with it. And there are vaccinated people that have died from COVID 19 because there are some people, I no shade, but it's twice as big as all of us. And a little shot was not going to be the only thing that you needed to take care of that. You would have had to try to start exercising and getting your vitamins and start eating right. At least take out beef for a little bit. And I mean, just for a little bit, just so you can try to get yourself right within your body. Because especially people with respiratory issues, you already got respiratory issues. You get bronchitis at least once every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do more than just rely on that shot.
That's right.
Without the shot, you that's a death wish.
Yes. Actually, T.S.
Right.
Madison and her mother just got COVID, and at the same time,
Hmm.
and her mother is not vaccinated. T.S. Madison is, and they had totally different experiences.
Of
Like
course.
totally. So
Has your
also,
mother like learned something from any of this?
she said she's still a little scared to take the vaccination, but she said she's thinking about getting it. But I heard T.S. Madison say, I guess when you are in the thick of it, you look up, you Google everything, and it's an infusion you can get also that you can get it after having it for 7 to 10 days. Is that window. You get
Hmm.
like an infusion where it gives like antibodies of the vaccine of the COVID, something about the COVID antibodies in your system, and it will make you feel better immediately.
Mm.
So if you have an infusion place, I would say look into that too, just in case you do get it. But
Okay.
yes, get the vaccine because I know for a fact I have been around somebody twice who has been tested positive for COVID, and I have not had any symptoms, or I have gotten it also. So,
You got any words, Ty?
Um, yeah. I feel like the worst of things have not started yet.
oh no,
And we got the warning shot this summer as the cases started to rise. And there will be a turn where things go worse. And people are going to say, I should have got the shot.
And what's funny is that people are already saying it, but still being ignored.
but they're saying it when they're on the hospital bed, but
Hmm.
those people who are
Right.
saying it
On
when it's
the
a little too
ventilator.
late. Like you're saying, it's too late
Exactly.
now.
And people
Ain't
asking
nothing.
for it. It's like you got it. We can't give
You
it to
can't
you.
give it to you.
Shoot, you
No,
can't
it's
even take the
not.
vitamin D3 that you need
Nope.
while you have the COVID.
Yes.
None of
I
that.
watch so many TikToks now. I'm a TikTok fanatic, but it's so many people who are like in the hospital crying.
Hmm.
I should have gotten the shot. I should have gotten the shot. And I'm replying, you should have.
You should have.
Hoping you
But
should have.
you know,
Yeah.
they saying that this is the devil, but let's look at the alternative. If it was the Lord and he was telling you to get the shot,
They question
you
him
just
too, so they
ignored
wouldn't
the
be no
point.
different. That
You
wouldn't be
just
no
did
different.
what the Jews did when they said their Messiah was coming.
Okay. We about to go deep. Oh,
There
we
we go.
Jan, cut
don't
that short
don't
quick, okay?
don't do
Yeah.
them. Don't give them too much, Tyrone.
Tune in to Faithful Warrior Ministries on Saturday morning
Yeah.
Okay.
For
Yes.
prayer,
for
especially if you need
prayer
it.
this
But
Saturday at 10 a.m.
but like Jen said, you guys take you don't know what's in these pills you take. Y'all smoke every kind of weed up under the sun. Don't know what's
Right.
in that
Don't know
weed.
what's in there.
Y'all eat every piece of chicken from a Chinese restaurant, fast food restaurant. Don't
Come
know
on.
how that chicken was processed and made.
At
Y'all eat
all.
at everybody's house. You eat. I mean, y'all don't look at what's in that. I
Yeah.
mean, y'all take
Cigarettes.
vitamins of things you can't even pronounce
Come on.
because the doctor told you to take it because it make your headache feel better. You got
Mm.
Zapaprian, some kind of Rivian. Like you can't even pronounce the words, but you questioning Pfizer. This was a thing they came up with unlimited funds to give to people. Yes, it was created fast, but people are dying fast from it.
And that's why these billionaires and stuff donated millions upon millions of
Yes.
dollars so we could get this going, and them billionaires can keep on making that money.
I find it funny when they talk about they never heard of Pfizer, but
Um,
you
well,
heard of
and
Advil, right?
and
You
it's
know
been approved by.
who makes Advil? Pfizer does.
They don't know. They don't do that research. They don't do the research. They do the research on the opposite stuff.
they love to say in ignorance.
It's just like people talk about I'm boycotting Coke, but then go over there and get some Minute Maid.
Same
Right.
company.
And
Same
to,
damn company.
and the argument that I don't understand is, many of these, is mainly right wing people who are, against the vaccine and masks and stuff like that. They feel as though their freedoms are being taken away, and they don't understand. For some reason, I don't know how they don't understand why these measures are being put in place. They're being put in place to save your life, people. They're trying to keep you from dying. And also, they don't want it to be so widespread. If this was just something that was a concentrated thing, in just one area, then that would be one thing. But this thing is worldwide. So like I said, I just pray that people wisen up and ask for wisdom. Because some things, they seem like it should be common sense. It seems like this should be just a common sense type of thing. But like I said, like we said, when you put politics into it, then it just takes on a whole other life of its own.
Yes, I think that we should dumbify it because the news goes so far into it and everything. Let's just dumbify it. Let's put how many people have died who's not vaccinated on the chart, and how many people who have died who's vaccinated. And I guarantee you, just the numbers itself will show you the difference.
You'll
Like
see the difference.
you'll see the difference. Do you want to be on this chart, or do you want to be on this chart?
Mm.
Like,
And on that note, I have just a quick little update on Ahmaud Arbery. That's the young man that was killed down here in Georgia by two white men that
On a pickup truck.
on a pickup truck. You may not remember the story, but they certainly have not been able to be bonded out. Praise God in the heavens, keep them in.
Okay.
But part of this story is that attorney, the attorney Jackie Johnson, she's like was it a state or a county attorney?
She was
A district attorney.
District attorney. Thank you guys.
District attorney.
County, for that particular county.
So she was actually formally pictured, like she knew the people that killed Ahmaud Arbery. And she has finally, this is like since 2019, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was before the COVID. Okay. So in 2019, that killing happened. So she was finally indicted for her role in Ahmaud's murder and the cover up afterwards, right? She was the DA of Glenn County here in Georgia and was just charged with violating her oath of office as district attorney for protecting Ahmaud's killers and telling the police not to arrest them. She was also just charged with felony obstruction of justice for blocking the investigation that she did. The
Wow.
indictment also mentions the blatant disrespect she showed for Ahmaud's family.
Mhm.
So
You gonna
there is she already lost her job, but there's hope. That's what I'm feeling right now. With George Floyd's killers slowly but surely being brought to justice. Also, what is that young man's name?
I saw that.
Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah.
Yes, Elijah. Yes.
Yes,
I can't remember his last name though.
but his killers are being brought to justice, as well as the EMTs that did not do their job well are being brought to justice. Slowly but surely, I feel like these counties, these places are having to show that we cannot have this kind of action going on any longer. So I wanted to leave this last to give at least a bit of upliftment when we leave. It is, yes, 54. This one has to go to a meeting, and I know we're pretty much done. So, Jonathan.
With that being said, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Make sure you join us again next week here, same time, same place, same beautiful faces. Go ahead and shout out your social medias, Mike.
On Twitter and also Instagram, Mr. Real121 at the bottom of the screen.
And Jennifer and Tyrone, if you guys would share your social media.
I am J Star Bright on Instagram, and Tyrone.
I am Mr. TD McCullum.
All right.
Road.
And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is JoJo_3020. Once again, thank you guys for joining us. I hope you all have an amazing, blessed weekend. And stay safe out there and get vaccinated and wear your mask. Bye, y'all.
Do it.
Wear
Bye.
your mask.
Wear it.
We love you.